Hello racers, today we're working on a go-kart. Okay, now today we're trading wrenches from the Supra and we're gonna start working on a Supra awesome go-kart. All right, today we're gonna be done working on the Supra and we're actually gonna be putting together a brand new go-kart. Race season is here, the first race is next weekend and there's a full practice day tomorrow and the weather actually looks like it's gonna be good finally. So we're gonna put together a brand new go-kart. We're gonna get tires ready, we're gonna get bodywork on, get the seat mounted. We're gonna do everything we can and we'll show you the process along the way and some of the tricks that we use if you have a kart yourself, something that you could use to help you out. We're, as per usual with most racing hobbies, we are starting this thing super late at night, the night before we need to be on track. So no better time to get started than right now. Let's get into it.
The package we are using this weekend is a 2019 Margay Ignite K3 chassis. We will be utilizing the Spec Ignite rule set, which will include the Hoosier R80 tires and sealed Briggs 206 engine. We will be running the Ignite senior weight at 360 pounds for the day. We are using the Spec Hilliard Flame clutch with trailing shoes and all black springs since Gateway is a pretty tight course. The engine we are using is a -1 pop-up block straight out of the box from Briggs. Chassis upgrades we're going to use for this include the M5 330mm steering wheel, angled steering hub, and heel stop. This setup is definitely the way to go if you're looking for an economically conscious racing in the Midwest.
All right, we're done with the kart for the night. As you saw, we took the bodywork off because that's how I get it in my truck, so it might look a little bit different than usual. I wanted to go over some of the things we do when we're race prepping a new kart, thinking it might help you on your future build, some of the stuff that we've learned. First, for this one, we are using a heel stop, which we don't usually use. In this case, the goal is to help make sure that it keeps us planted in our seat since we are using a slightly different seat than usual. We are using a wedged steering hub. That's just for more of a comfort thing. Now, I run a zip tie on the fuel tank nut. Over the course of my karting career, I've had a few of those come loose, and more than anything else, it's just distracting, so that's on there mostly just so it doesn't get annoying and come off. Now we're getting to the engine. We run a shorter pulse line, so we turn the pump so we can run a shorter pulse line so we have a little bit more pressure. We don't run a fuel tank riser because that stuff's fake news. On the carburetor, we are pretty stock for us, which is pin 4, 840 thousandths on the height, standard drop, and 1 1/4 turn on the idle mix. We have lock collars on the axle, and that's in hopes that if our set screws come loose, we have something that'll help make sure that the axle isn't sliding around so that we don't have the brake rubbing on the pad. So that's all super simple stuff, nothing that anybody couldn't do. Stuff that just helps keep you focused at the track. If you've got a sliding axle or a fuel tank loose, you've pretty much wasted a session because your mind's not in the right place or your equipment's falling apart. So those little things help keep the kart on the track and not, sort of coming in on the pit cart. So use that stuff in your own builds. We're excited to get to the track tomorrow bright and early, and the two of us will see you there tomorrow. All right, we're at the track at Gateway for the first time. It ended up being a halfway decent day. We've got the kart back together, we've broken it in. We're ready to get ourselves on the track. It's a new kart, so we're gonna take it somewhat easy the first session. we'll GoPro it as well, so you can see kind of get a tour of the Gateway. A lot of people here. I think the track's going to be pretty active today. Everyone's real excited to get started. So we're going to get this thing started, get ourselves ready, and get into it.
You see, stereophonic sound for the home is recorded on 2 separate tracks, each one giving special emphasis to certain sections of the orchestra, as heard from those positions. Now, when played back simultaneously on 2 separate systems, the sounds are blended together to achieve a new dimension in sound impossible to obtain in a monaural recording. Stereophonic sound for the home is recorded on 2 separate tracks, each one giving special emphasis to certain sections of the orchestra, as heard from those positions. Now, when played back simultaneously on 2 separate systems, the sounds are blended together to achieve a new dimension in sound impossible to obtain in a monaural recording.
Okay, started to drizzle a little bit, so we're gonna take a little bit of a break. Basically, we haven't done much. We've gotten in the cart. We did 2 practice sessions. We messed around with air pressure, and then we put seat struts on the cart. And we also put, for this next session, we put these pills on the cart to add a little bit of caster. So we haven't been able to try that yet. Basically just looking for grip. The track's green because this is the first weekend of the year so far, and it's a little bit chilly. So hopefully the rain will hold off. We'll get to try this stuff and try to get a little more grip in the cart and see how it goes.
Stereophonic sound for the home is recorded on 2 separate tracks, each one giving special emphasis to certain sections of the orchestra, as heard from those positions. Now, when played back simultaneously on 2 separate systems, the sounds are blended together to achieve a new dimension in sound impossible to obtain in a monaural recording. stereophonic sound for the home is recorded on 2 separate tracks, each one giving special emphasis to certain sections of the orchestra, as heard from those positions. Now, when played back simultaneously on 2 separate systems, the sounds are blended together to achieve a new dimension in sound, impossible to obtain in a monaural recording.
That was pretty much it for our testing that day. It started to get a little chillier and the rain started moving in. As I usually do, I ended back at what I would consider a standard setup just to kind of test it against the changes we've made, and it turned out to be our fastest laps of the day. So I think that's where we would start a race, just on the base Ignite K3 setup. Ultimately, I think we got done what we wanted to. We came in today with a plan, and I think we pretty much executed that plan. I feel better prepared for the first race of the season. Days like this wouldn't be possible without support from Margay Racing, Hoosier Racing Tire, and of course the Gateway Kartplex. Gateway is a great place to race, great staff, great racers, and it's just a fun place to be during the summer. Hope to see you at the track soon.
Hi, my name's Bobby Krug, and you're watching Greg's Video Garage. Comment, rate, and subscribe.